Hello and welcome to the Thanksgiving edition of Happy Hands and Heart. This is a very gentle flow that is intended to release tension from the upper body. So before you get started, I want to let you know that the last shape that we're going to take is a resting shape where you rest on your back with a support underneath the shoulder blades and maybe underneath the back of your head. So take a little bit of time right now to get yourself situated so that you have those items of comfort. We do this class without any special props, so that way you can practice this from wherever you are. So let's get started in an easy seat, whatever that means for you, whether that is crisscross applesauce or folded with your knees up underneath you. It does not matter, whatever is going to make you the most comfortable. And the breath technique that we're going to do this morning is a sharp exhale using the belly muscles to really drive the air out of the body. It's usually recommended that you do an exhale through the nostrils, but if you've got some stuff going on in the nostrils, it's going to make that gross. Get some tissues nearby, or you can just breathe out the mouth, but always breathing in through the nostrils. Now, sometimes when we do this particular breath technique, you might do a certain number of rounds of the breath and count the rounds. This morning, however, what we're going to do is 90 seconds of this breath. So I've got a stopwatch down here, and I'm going to keep track of the time that we do this breath for. So we're just going to do it for 90 seconds. And I want you to focus especially on the exhale and using your belly muscles and these ribcage muscles to just drive the air out of the body and then let the inhale happen on its own. All right, we're going to start in about 4 seconds. Just breathe naturally and then exhale sharply. Here we go. 90 seconds begins now. We're halfway there. Feel free to take a break anytime you need. Come on back when you're ready. Thirty more seconds. Fifteen. Take a huge inhale. Sigh it away. All right, next up, we're going to stretch the whole upper body. So we're going to do a few sun breaths where we bring the arms outstretched with the palms up, and we're going to inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And then exhale, bring your palms down through heart center, pause here, and then turn your fingertips downwards and pull the wrists upwards. And then see if you can press the heels of the hands together, really stretching the wrists and the inside of the forearms. All right, let's do a few more like that. Reach the arms out, breathe in, reach all the way up. And then exhale, bring the palms down through heart center again. This time we're going to interlace the fingers and press the palms away. Unlace the fingers, reach out again, and then reach up. Big inhale. And we're going to repeat that cycle again, palms together, creating a 90-degree angle with the wrists, and then turn the fingertips down, reach the fingers up, or the wrists up. Separate the hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms through heart center. Interlace the fingers, press the palms away from you. Awesome. All right, we're gonna release the hands. Put one hand on the earth, reach the other hand up, and then reach up and over. And change sides. Stretching through the side body. And come on back into the center. We're going to do a simple seated twist. So just turn the body, look over your back shoulder, and maybe use this front hand to hold on to the knee, the opposite knee. And then we're going to pause here and take 3 really big inhales and exhales. Untwist and change sides. Really full on the inhale. Empty out on your exhale. And then untwist. And then we're going to do seated camel. So we're going to take the hands, we're going to place them down on the earth behind us with the palms facing down. Pull the shoulder blades way together. And then what we're going to do is pull the teeth together and lift the chin way up. Really stretching through the front of the throat. Keep the chin lifted, keep your teeth pulled together. And then maybe turn the head very gently side to side. Awesome. Bring the chin back to neutral, sit back up, and now we're going to take this all in the opposite direction. So really gently, we're going to interlace the fingers on the back of the head and then let the chin drop in towards the chest. And that's it. We're not going to pull the head down. We're just going to let the extra added weight of the arms help to lengthen the back of the neck here. We're going to take a few gentle breaths, just letting gravity stretch out the back of the neck with the help of the added weight of the arms. And then release the hands, bring the head back up to neutral, and then we're just going to take a few moments for some freestyle neck rolls. So whatever you need here, rolling the head around, maybe turning the head side to side. And as you do this, just noticing whatever feels sticky or tense. We're going to get a little bit more into this later on in the session and apply quite a bit of strategy. But right now, I invite you to just roll the head around. Maybe pause wherever it feels a little sticky. We're going to be at this for another 30 seconds-ish. Remembering your breath, noticing the quality of your inhale and your exhale, the length, the depth, the temperature. Good stuff. Okay, next up, we're going to move into whatever variation of child's pose that you like. So if you really need to release some tension from the upper back and the lower back, you can take infant pose. And the infant pose variation of child's pose, we fold the hands back behind the feet and then tuck the chin, really rounding the spine here. If on the other hand, you need to open up the shoulders a little bit, you can reach the arms up overhead and rest them on the mat up above your head. And we're going to be here for a good 60, 90 seconds. So you can also alternate between these two different variations of child's pose. Big deep breaths. All right, my friends, come on up into a tabletop position. So we're going to come to all fours. Take a moment here. So one of the things that we really want to do is give our hands and wrists an opportunity to stretch out. So you're really going to stretch the fingertips out and then create kind of a 90-degree angle with your wrists. And then very gently bring your shoulders forward, leaning forward, really stretching out the palms of the hands and the wrists and the forearms here. And then pick up your hands and turn your fingertips back in towards the knees. And then lean back. Big deep breaths here. And then turn the fingertips so that they're facing out to the sides, keeping those fingers stretched really wide. And then option here to sway the hips side to side, also stretching the sides of the body. And now we're going to walk the hands out into puppy pose. So we're going to keep the hips lifted and walk the hands out. And once your hands are on the earth fully extended, lower your head so that your forehead rests on the mat between your elbows. And we're going to pause here for a few breaths. One more giant inhale. Stay here for the exhale. Breathe out, out, out. Really empty the lungs. And now we're going to shift forward onto the belly for Sphinx pose. So stretching the legs out, untuck the toes, and then you're going to bring, you know what, y'all, I'm going to turn off this background, this fancy background, which is kind of messing with the view. So that y'all can actually see what's going on. Remove all. Okay, so for locust pose, excuse me, not locust, we're gonna do Sphinx pose. So we create a 90-degree angle with the elbows, and we pull the upper arms close to the body, spreading the fingers wide, and then untucking the toes to let the tops of the feet rest on the earth. Now this is already a pretty intense back bend, so you can just stay right here. If you're at 100%, stay right here. If you want a little bit more from this, from the back bending aspect or from the opening up through the front of the body, you can press into your hands, lifting the chin up, lifting the front of the body up, and then maybe lifting your chin. Other ways that you can intensify this are to bring one heel up or both heels up, reaching the heels for the back of the head. And you also have options to turn the head from side to side, or you can just hang out in stillness. We're going to be here for another 30 seconds. Breathe deeply. And then releasing this shape, we're gonna turn over onto our back and do fish pose. Just gonna be in fish for a couple of breaths. We're gonna roll around to the back, resting on the elbows, and then tucking the hands a little bit up underneath the hips, and then draw your shoulder blades together and ever so gently let your head drop back. And then take 2 gigantic breaths here. And then before you go anywhere else, pull your chin in towards your chest and then press into your hands to lift up and then shift to one side so that you're resting on one hip. Doesn't matter which side you start on, we're gonna do both. And then planting your hand next to your hip, close to your hip. This is side lying Buddha. This is the highest variation of side lying Buddha. So from here, there's some other places that you can take this. One of them is to bring your forearm down and rest on the forearm. So this is still really stretching out through the side of the body here. Other options, you can stretch your elbow out and maybe rest the head in the palm of the hand. Choosing whichever variation suits you in this moment. Feel free to wiggle around into different ones. And then make your way back to fish pose. Fish pose is our centering pose before we move to the next side. Take a little time to get yourself set up. Let your head drop back, keeping those shoulder blades pulled together. Keep your teeth pulled together for the fullest stretch for the front of the throat. And 2 or 3 breaths here. And when you're finished, pull your chin to your chest and then change sides for your side lying Buddha. Really full inhale. Notice the expansion of your rib cage as you breathe in. Spend a little bit more time on your exhale. Yay, good stuff. Push yourself on back up. And now, my friends, my favorite part is lion's breath. So we're gonna do Simhasana. Now the traditional way to set this up is to come to your knees and bring the toes together behind you and the knees slightly apart, and then turn the hands in towards the body, the fingertips in towards the body, and rest the palms on the earth. So you might already start to feel this really big stretch that we get through the forearms and the palms of the hands. And now what we're going to do is 60 seconds of lion's breath to go with this, so we can really release a lot of tension from the jaw. Okay, 60 seconds starting now. Go at your own pace. Inhale fully, exhale, open mouth, roar. Option to stick out your tongue. Keep going. 15 more seconds. And then release the hands, shake all that tension out, and then bring yourself around to whatever seat you like. If you want to stay folded into hero pose, sitting back on the heels, or if you prefer, crisscross applesauce. And then we're going to move back up to really focusing on the upper body. We're going to start with big shoulder shrugs, and we're going to do one shoulder each time for 3 rounds. We're going to use the inhale to lift it way up, and we're going to use the exhale to just let it completely drop. All right, we're going to do 3 rounds for each shoulder. Start on whichever one you like. Inhale, one shoulder up. Get it all the way up. Breathe all the way in. When you're ready to exhale, let it drop. And twice more. Let's move to the other shoulder. Last one. And then we're going to do both shoulders at the same time. 3 rounds. All right, we're going to stay with the shoulders. This time what we're going to do is establish a lot of control. So we're going to use the inhale to lift the shoulders up, and then we're going to use the exhale to strongly draw the shoulder blades together, and then keeping with a really strong exhale, lots of control to pull the shoulder blades down as far as we can, pulling the shoulders down and then rolling them, release. So we're going to do that 3 times, up, back, down, release. And then we're going to do another round of 3, bringing the shoulders forward, down, and release. Okay, inhale, lift the shoulders. Stay controlled here. Exhale, roll the shoulders way back. As soon as you get them all the way back, start drawing them down. Down, down, down. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Let it go. Awesome. We're going to do it twice more in this direction. Inhale up. Exhale back. Strong and controlled. Press down, down, down. Out, out, out. Release. And last one in this direction. Inhale up. Exhale, roll back. And down. And release. Awesome sauce. Here we go. Opposite direction. We're going to inhale up and then roll the shoulders forward and down. Nice. Keep going. Twice more. Inhale up. Use that exhale. Super controlled. Roll forward. Forward, forward, forward. Down, down, down. And last one. Inhale up. Roll forward. And release. So good. Shake it all loose. Okay, and now we're going to apply some strategy for all the muscles in the neck and the jaw. We're going to start by dropping one ear to one shoulder. I'm dropping my right ear to my right shoulder. You may be headed to the opposite direction. Totally fine. We're going to get it all in here. If you want to add to this in any way, you can take this hand, bring it up and over, And just again, we're not pulling, we're just using the additional weight from the hand and the arm to add a little gravity. And then if you want even more, you can reach the opposite hand out and touch the earth, or wrap it behind the back rib cage. And then breathe really deeply here, noticing what sensations arise as you breathe in fully. And exhale luxuriously. So good. Let's take one more breath here. If you're holding on to anything, release it, bringing the hands back to the lap. Now we're going to keep the right ear over the right shoulder, or whichever side you're on. Keep the head in that direction and turn your chin and your gaze towards that same shoulder. And get your chin as far over the shoulder as you can, keeping the opposite shoulder pressed back to get the full benefit of the stretching action here. And we're very slowly, keeping the chin over the shoulder, going to start to look up. And we're kind of using the nose to draw a circle across the wall, and then continue looking up, gazing up, keeping the chin over that shoulder. When you're all the way looking over and up, then begin to tilt the chin towards the center, looking up across the ceiling, and we're going to make a full circle here. So starting to turn the chin in the other direction, looking up, looking to the side, and then when you get all the way up and over to that side, then begin to draw the gaze and the nose and the chin down to the opposite shoulder. And then when your chin is tucked all the way in, take one more breath here, looking down at that shoulder, keeping the opposite shoulder pulled back for the fullest extension. And keep your head in that same direction, turn your chin forward, dropping the ear to the opposite shoulder. So you're looking forward, ear to the opposite shoulder. Yes. Deep breath here. Okay, and then to complete the circle, if you want extra, bringing that hand up and over, and then maybe the opposite hand touches the earth or wraps around the back. We're going to take one more breath here. Big inhale, get really full. And stay for the exhale, luxuriate here. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Release your hands. If you use them, bring the head back up to neutral. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did earlier, which is seated camel, bringing the hands behind us, palms on the earth, pull the teeth together, lift the chin. Stretching through the front of the throat. 2 breaths here. Long inhale. Longer exhale. Keep the teeth together. Pull your chin up and back. Stretch the throat. And this time, tilt the chin from side to side. Go easy. Slow and gentle. Bring the chin back to center and then back to neutral. Pulling the chin to the chest. Sit back up. And now we're going to take care of the back of the neck again, interlacing the fingers on the back of the head. Draw your chin in towards your chest, pull the elbows towards each other, and then just let your head hang with the weight of your arms, using extra gravity here. Let the shoulder blades slide apart from each other. A couple more deep breaths here. Two more complete breaths. And then release your hands, let your head come back up, and then we'll take another few moments here, freestyle neck rolls. So good. All right, bring your head back up to neutral. And now we're going to take care of the hands and the elbows. So take a moment to just freestyle, roll the hands around, wiggle the fingers, roll the hands around the wrists, get the elbows involved, maybe roll the shoulders around. Nice. Okay, so next up, we're going to take care of the hands, stretching the hands really wide. This is called Abhaya, which means fearless. This is our back off hand. So typically this is held out, right? So you can hold this out if you want. The intention here is to really stretch the palm as much as we can and stretching the little webs between the fingers as wide as we can. And now we're gonna roll this around. So you can relax the arms down by the body. The effort here is in keeping the palms really wide and the fingers really wide. And then roll in the opposite direction. Yes, good stuff. And the next up is Lotus Bud Mudra, drawing all of the fingers and the thumbs together and then rolling around again. Freestyle rolls here, maybe you bounce them up and down, back and forth. So this also really helps us to get into little individual muscle groups. Lots of bones, lots of little muscles and tissues in here. So we're addressing each and every one of them. Next up, we're gonna fold the thumbs in and then wrap the fingertips over. This is called Adi Mudra, which is named for the very first yogi ever. This mudra is not typically rolled. We typically do not use this as a rolling mudra. We're specifically using it today to get into some different musculature in the hands. However, this mudra, holding this mudra and resting them on your knees is considered a really great mudra to hold in breathing, breath work, or meditation as a way of really grounding and centering and calming yourself. All right, we're gonna shake that all loose. And then we're gonna take care of the individual fingers. So for that, we're gonna come back to our Abhaya Mudra, spreading the fingers wide with one hand, and then we're gonna use the ring finger of the opposite hand we're gonna start with the pinky, so wrapping around the pinky and then pull it way back. And maybe that's only a little bit. If you've just started this and you use your hands a lot and there's a lot of tension here, that is okay. But pull it back as far as you can and then breathe deeply. And then pull the ring finger back. Middle finger. And we've got a couple of special things. Move to the ring finger, the index finger. We've got a couple of special maneuvers for this web in between the index finger and the thumb. So we're gonna take care of this finger and then we're gonna move to the other hand and then we'll take care of the web between the thumb and the index fingers. Shake it loose and then change hands. Ring finger of the opposite hand pulls your pinky back. Ring finger. So good. Middle finger. So I'm going to be teaching this same session on Tuesday mornings starting next week. Move to your index finger. And we're going to do a lot of the same maneuvers each class, but we're also going to be doing different variations on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you come on both days of the week, you'll get a little bit different flavors of each thing. If you can only make it one day a week, that's okay. We're still gonna get a lot of the basic stuff in to really help release the tension out of this part of the body. All right, shake it loose. And then next what we're gonna do is arms akimbo, what I like to call our Wonder Woman arms, putting the hands on the hips. And then just stay here, just relax. Let the arms sink down. Now, our intention is to stretch the web between the thumb and the index finger, but as you hang out here, you may notice other sensations arising, and that is absolutely fine. Settle in for another few breaths. And our last mudra is Yoni Mudra. So we're going to fold the fingers together, and then we're going to create Kali Mudra by bringing the index fingers together, and then we're going to join the thumbs and press the thumbs down to create Yoni Mudra. This is one of many variations of Yoni Mudra. This is the one that we're going to do this morning. Now, to get the fullest benefit out of this big stretch that we're making for the thumbs and the space between the thumb and index finger is to turn it in towards the body so that the thumbs are facing down, the index fingers are up, and then you can hold it anywhere you like. If you want to get gravity on your side for this, let your hands come all the way down so that the thumbs are pressing into the pubic area and the fingertips are facing, the index fingers are facing upwards. Now we're going to hold this for officially about 20 seconds from here. If you need more of this, you can stay with the fingertips like this. I'll let you know when we get to the end point for official time. All right, we have officially held this for about 30 seconds. If you need more, feel free to stay here for as long as you like. Our next and final shape for our practice is supported fish pose. So if you need more of Yoni Mudra, stay here. If you're ready to move to supported fish pose, I invite you to go ahead and create that little nest of comfort for yourself. For the next few minutes, this is all that you are going to do is soak up the benefit of the rest of this practice. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate for the recording a couple of different variations of supported fish pose, and those of you who are with me for the live stream, go ahead and start settling in. If you're not sure how to set this up, I will show you. So I'm bringing a folded up blanket, and I'm gonna place this at the top of my mat, and then I'm gonna turn so that, tilt my camera down a little bit so you can see here. I'm gonna bring this so that the blanket here is about at my rib cage so that I can lay down with the support underneath my back ribs. Now I'm allowing my head to drop down to the earth. If that does not feel good and you don't want that much of a stretch, then you can push the blanket up so that it's supporting the back of the head as well as the rib cage. And then if you happen to have a meditation cushion or even a sofa pillow and you want to create more of an incline, you can bring additional height if you want a more intense stretch for the front of the body here. Okay, once you're settled in, lots of options here. You can leave your legs outstretched, or if you want a little stretch for the hips, you can try butterfly feet, joining the soles of the feet together. And if you want a little bit more stretch across the pectoral muscles, the front of the rib cage, you can maybe stretch the arms out away from you. And now from here, there is nothing else to do but rest. And you can stay here for as long as you like. Our official time is going to be about 4 minutes. So I am going to come out of supported fish pose. I invite you to remain exactly where you are in supported fish pose. And as a special for their Thanksgiving Day edition of our Happy Hands and Heart class, I'd like to share with you a beautiful greeting to the natural world as you let your body settle in on the earth. This is a greeting that is said at all of the meetings of the Haudenosaunee people, the indigenous people of the region that I live in now in Pennsylvania, and stretching up through New York and Delaware, and New Jersey. The Haudenosaunee people, that name, by the way, means people of the Longhouse. And this greeting is said every time they come together, not just on Thanksgiving, but anytime they come together. And I'm going to read this to you as you rest. Today, we have gathered and we see that the cycles of life continue. We have been given the duty to live in balance and harmony with each other and all living things. So now we bring our minds together as one as we give greetings and thanks to each other as people. Now our minds are one. We are thankful to our mother, the earth, for she gives us all that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk about upon her. It gives us joy that she continues to care for us as she has from the beginning of time. To our mother, we send greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. We give thanks to all the waters of the world for quenching our thirst and providing us with strength. Water is life. We know its power in many forms: waterfalls and rain, mists and streams, rivers and oceans. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the spirit of water. Now our minds are one. We turn our minds to all the fish life in the water. They were instructed to cleanse and purify the water. They also give themselves to us as food. We are grateful that we can still find pure water. Now we turn to the fish and send our greetings and thanks. And now our minds are one. Now we turn towards the vast fields of plant life. As far as the eye can see, the plants grow, working many wonders. They sustain many life forms. With our minds gathered together, we give thanks and look forward to seeing plant life for many generations to come. Now our minds are one. With one mind, we turn to honor and thank all the food plants we harvest from the garden. Since the beginning of time, the grains, vegetables, and beans and berries have helped the people survive. Many other beings draw strength from them too. We gather all the plant foods together as one and send them a greeting of thanks. Now our minds are one. Now we turn to all the medicine herbs of the world. From the beginning, they were instructed to take away sickness. They are always waiting and ready to heal us. We are happy there are still among us those special few who remember how to use these plants for healing. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the medicines and to the keepers of the medicines. Now our minds are one. We gather our minds together to send greetings and thanks to all the animal life of the world. They have many things to teach us as people. We are honored by them when they give up their lives so we may use their bodies for food for our people. We see them near our homes and in the deep forest, and we are glad that they are still here, and we hope that they will always be so. Now our minds are one. We turn our thoughts now to the trees. The earth has many families of trees who have their own instructions and uses. Some provide us with shelter and shade, others with fruit, beauty, and other useful things. Many people of the world use a tree as a symbol of peace and strength. With one mind, we greet and thank the tree life. Now our minds are one. We put our minds together as one and thank all the birds who move and fly about over our heads. The Creator gave them beautiful songs. Each day they remind us to enjoy and appreciate life. The eagle was chosen to be their leader. To all the birds, from the smallest to the largest, we send our joyful greeting and thanks. Now our minds are one. We are thankful to the powers we know as the four winds. We hear their voices in the moving air as they refresh us and purify the air we breathe. They help us bring the change of the seasons. From the four directions they come, bringing us messages and giving us strength. With one mind, we send our greetings and thanks to the four winds. Now our minds are one. The thunderers. Now we turn to the west where our grandfathers, the thunder beings, live. With lightning and thundering voices, they bring with them the water that renews life. We are thankful that they keep those evil beings bayed by the Okusweris underground. We bring our minds together as one to send greetings and thanks to our grandfathers, the thunderers, and now our minds are one. We send greetings and thanks to our eldest brother, the sun. Each day without fail, he travels the sky from east to west, bringing the light of a new day. He is the source of all the fires of life. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our brother, the sun. Now our minds are one. We put our minds together to give thanks to our oldest grandmother, the moon, who lights the nighttime sky. She is the leader of women all over the world, and she governs the movement of the ocean tides. By her changing face, we measure time, and it is the moon who watches over the arrival of children here on earth. With one mind, we send thanks to our grandmother, the moon. Now our minds are one. We give thanks to the stars who are spread across the sky like jewelry. We see them in the night, helping the moon to light the darkness and bring dew to the gardens and growing things. When we travel at night, they guide us home. With our minds gathered as one, we send greetings and thanks to the stars. Now our minds are one. We gather our minds to greet and thank the enlightened teachers who have come to help throughout the ages. When we forget how to live in harmony, they remind us the way that we were instructed to live as people. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to these caring teachers. Now our minds are one. Now we turn our thoughts to the Creator or Great Spirit and send greetings and thanks for all of the gifts of creation. Everything we need to live a good life is here on this Mother Earth for all the love that is still around us. We gather our minds together as one and send our choicest words of greetings and thanks to the Creator. And now our minds are one. We have now arrived at the place where we end our words. Of all of these things we have named, it is not our intention to leave anything out. If something was forgotten, we leave it to each individual to send such greetings and thanks in their own way. Now our minds are one. If you would like to remain at rest, please remain at rest. If you need to move on with your day, take a stretch and bring yourself to a seat. And I'll close our session with this closing meditation. Safe, healthy, happy, and free. Me, you, all beings, everywhere and always. Let's go be a mighty kindness. Peace.